Once the siren in the locality goes up, my phone will also start blowing the same siren. You can't sleep. Rockets are heading towards the next neighborhood. Destroy these rockets in the mid-air. So I can see they are getting blown up on top of my head, and we can feel the shake. And we were closely saved. All our neighborhoods were on real red alert, and I can see order of 10 blowing up at a time.
Namaste. This is Ratna. You are watching Empire Diaries, our independent digital platform. All eyes are on Israel now. The entire country is simmering. Tension is rising. People are dying. A large number of Indians are living and staying there. One of them is Sanmay. Sanmay hails from Kolkata. He is living in Israel and he is joining me now at this moment in these tense times. Thank you, Sanmay, for joining us. How are you doing? Because this is a very tense times, as you all know, that we are all watching what is happening there. So how are you doing?
I'm personally doing fine. I live in a place called Rehoboth, which is a little bit southern part of Tel Aviv. But in general, this is a pretty calm neighborhood. There are pretty open society, and mainly there are two academic institutes here. The bigger one is Weizmann Institute of Science, where I work. And then there is the agricultural department of Tel Aviv University and Hebrew University. So in general, there is a large international presence in this community, as well as more or less, I would say, moderate Jewish society. I'm pretty happy living here. It's extremely safe place to live in general. I would say I would feel more comfortable here rather than my home back in Kolkata, or let's say I have lived for 6.5 years in Mumbai. So in general, it's pretty safe out here.
So how is life now? Tell us more about your neighborhood, whether the shops are open, whether the grocery stores are open.
Yeah. In general, it's absolutely as it is, as it was before in terms of grocery shops, everything. We also have lots of pubs and open-air restaurants out here. Now, after this tension got high, national security mandate came that at a place in outdoor, there should be 10 people at a place. So it's right now prohibited to place big tables and chairs outside on the footpath, and people sitting with beer pitch, etc. So that's right now prohibited. But once the night sets in, general weekend, from Thursday evening, Friday evening, people gather in the streets and do late night outing until 2 a.m. The roads are full. That's kind of diminished a bit because what we have seen, there is a time around after 10 in the night when there is again a barrage of rockets which are fired from Gaza Strip, and that's not far away from here in that sense, 50 kilometers. So, and let's say once the siren goes out, in this city the mandate is we have to be inside a shelter within 1.5 minutes.
Sorry for interrupting you. How was last 4 or 5 days? Because tension was mounting, and
So for me personally, the worst day was 11th May night. That's when the first alarm was around 8:30 in the evening. That's when we were inside a bomb shelter for almost an hour. Then I came back, and it was I was keen on looking into the news channel, following what's happening, etc. And again at 2:30 the siren went up. And so we gathered, there's a shelter in the mid-stairs here. So we just gathered there. And what was happening each time we came back was trying to sleep. Again, the siren was going up. So it was like 2:30 to 3:45.
How does a bomb shelter look like? I mean, a siren blows and then it happens, because this is a totally new things for Indians.
Like, first of all, every neighborhood has common siren, and that siren has a very peculiar noise. It's designed so that it will make you uneasy. Okay. And then I can show you that all of us have to install something called Homefront Command app in the phone. And once the siren in the locality goes up, my phone will also start blowing the same siren. So I know that particular siren means I have to run. Okay. And this is always tracking.
Even if you are sleeping,
and this phone will go crazy. So yeah, so that's like a compulsory thing we have to put in our phone. And it's a bit annoying. Like, you can't sleep. You have to take the right kind of protections, etc. And again, the sirens came back around 5:30 in the morning. So that night, practically, we couldn't sleep. Now, last few days, yes, the alarms are coming and going off. Sometimes it's happening. There is no alarm in my neighborhood, but maybe the rockets are heading towards the next neighborhood. So the siren is there, but this Iron Dome is designed to like destroy these rockets in the midair. So I can see they are getting blown up on top of my head. So that we can directly see, and we can feel the shake. Yeah.
So it happened on 11th night. That's what you said. Right.
For us, the most tense night was 11th night. Last night could have been. We were closely saved. Our phone showed that all our neighborhoods were on real red alert, and the rockets came, and the rockets blew up on top of our heads. So they didn't.
So you saw it. You watched it.
Yeah. We watched it.
So it's scary. Scary. What you were saying.
So my Israeli friends told me just not to get scared, and let me forward you something in the WhatsApp, which is like, I clicked few pictures after lunch yesterday about rocket blowing up. So I just forwarded you, and that's taken from my office. And I could see from my window.
How many times you have seen rockets falling down?
So this time, they are actually throwing order of 50, 80 rockets, and I can see order of 10 blowing up at a time.
I mean, what you are describing, it's very, very scary.
No, but I think still we are in better state. If you see what's happening actually in the neighborhoods very close to the Gaza Strip, there the sirens are blowing 24/7. It's not stopping, and I can monitor from my phone what's happening there. So there the residents are like, oh, the siren stopped. That means Hamas is going to think something alternative. They know if the sirens are going on, that means the rockets are coming, and it's very well designed to destroy the rockets. So it's on a safer side. For them, if the siren stops, that's means something unknown might come now. So it's kind of...
So what kind of interactions are you having among friends and colleagues? I mean, you must be keeping in touch with each other.
We have common like WhatsApp groups, so we just keep informing each other. Sometimes we are just calling up each other. It's fine. Also, like, our regular life and work is on. It's not that we are having holidays or some break. No. So we are trying to keep up with that as well. It's better to have the work on, because otherwise my mind will be always on the rockets and bombs. So
yes. You were talking about this bomb shelter. Let us know more about it. I mean, we have this in Kashmir.
In the recent times, if you plan a house, the plan will be sanctioned only if there are sufficient number of shelters per floor. Okay. In Hebrew, they are called mamad, which means specially protected rooms. And they are designed so that, like, depending on the size, it's designed to sustain few people at a time for up to 2 days. And it can resist like a medium size missile to like a medium size bomb, like that. Of course, if someone drops a nuclear bomb, it will blow away, but like the regular ones we see, they can sustain.
And what about the grocery stores and shopping malls?
They also, so every, even like a standard say supermarket, they should have something underground as a shelter. Let's say people are buying their groceries and the siren goes up, they have to run to the underground. That's the way it's designed. Like this country is built out of war and everything, so from day one these things are well designed.
So if you are on the street and the siren blows up, what do you do?
So first you look around and try to see if a home is there. You run towards that home because you know it will have a shelter, and you run into the shelter. Now let's say you're in the open fields. What do? The mandate is you just lie down with your heads on the top and count your luck. So that's how it works. But and let's say you're in a train which is running. Even if you hear a siren, just make sure you lie down on the floor so that you're below the window level, so that if a rocket comes and blows the window away, it still doesn't pisses you off.
Bomb shelter, what is it? Is it made of metal?
Very thick wall with like iron layers, and also the ceiling is specially designed. So it's much more thicker walls, and the doors are of heavy metal doors. It's like a super secured lock of a bank locker, like that, so that it's not easily blown away by an explosion. And there is one window which also has a metal kind of covering, etc. But it makes sure that even if there is explosion outside, it gets the right kind of oxygen to sustain the people.
We have been hearing a lot about the Iron Dome that is saving the whole Israel. What is it?
Okay, so it's right. So for the Iron Dome is a it itself is a short-range missile which is designed to just blow away other projectiles and missiles. Okay, so how it works is that there's a network all throughout Israel, and these Iron Domes are kept in different places, and 24/7 for the security purpose, every day and every moment, these systems are monitoring if there is some unmonitored projectile suddenly starts coming towards Israel. If it detects something like that, it first calculates which are the cities fall in the path of this projectile, and alarm starts going up in these cities. And then there is this missiles automatically get shot off, and it just blows away whatever is coming. And this is fully automated, like no one presses a switch to initiate it. So you know if it's something is coming, it will get destroyed. But it also has an efficiency. It's like 95%. So what this time Hamas is doing, they're throwing like hundreds of rockets at a time. Mm-hmm. So that at least one or two just bypass this system. They're trying to overwhelm the system, and they are successful in some sense. This time, few rockets have fallen here and there. So until now, they have, in last few days, if you count, total almost like 2,000 rockets were thrown.
2,000 rockets,
yeah. And the number of rockets which successfully landed here are order of 10. So you can count the efficiency of this system. The rest are all destroyed midair.
What are you must be, interacting with your family back in India, they're very tense. So what kind of interactions are you having with your family?
The real problem we have that when they see BBC and all this kind of news media, they only see like bombs are dropping here and there and big explosions. But what I try to convince them, before, let's say, Israeli Defense Force fixes to shoot someplace, they actually call up that place in Gaza and say, okay, listen, we decided that this place is really used by Hamas, and we are going to blow this place off in 1 hour. So you better vacate this place because and like in Telegram, I follow a channel by IDF and they put the videos on there, and they're so precise, like you can be just 100 meters away from the target and you will be fine. And the missile will come and exactly hit the place and destroy the thing it actually wants to. So there are pictures like photographers and all the journalists are standing on the rooftop of a building which is like 50 meters away, and they just see a missile comes and blows the next building off, and they are perfectly safe. They could video it. It's just a mental tension which goes on you. Otherwise, actually, it's fine.
So what was the most tense moment for you during this last 1 week?
No, what the tense moment is actually not only the rockets, but there are some civil unrest going on in different cities of Israel. So that is the riots. And I think the rockets are fine, they will destroy, but how do you control a human being? That's kind of impossible. And you don't know how a mob will behave. It's still not here. My locality is very safe, but there is a place called Lod, which is just like 5 minutes driving from here. And
Lod is 5 minutes drive from your place. Oh.
Yeah. So it's just the next station. And there a big amount of riot happened, and it's spreading. It's not under control. So that's...
We have to be a bit disturbing careful. Pictures are coming from Lod and other cities across Israel.
Yeah. So wherever there is like a 50-50 mixed population of Jewish and Arab people, there are communal tensions. So I think we have to be a bit careful because that's not under control. Let's put it this way. The rockets are.
Okay, Sanmay. Thank you very much for talking to us.
It's my pleasure.
Take very good care of yourself and stay safe. Thanks for joining.
Okay, thank you.